Teresa Martinez. I'm originally from Cuba, and now I live in Lakeland. Democracy, what does it mean to me? It's a big word. It's freedom. The freedom to express yourself, to be whatever you want to be, to own whatever you can, to have the freedom to be yourself. Coming from Cuba, this was not something that we were able to experience. I grew up in Cuba from the time that Castro was there in 1959 through 1970, so I was able to experience what democracy is not. Having that experience, living in the communist regime, then you really realize what democracy is. Democracy is the right, the God-given right to be free. I don't think that Americans, North Americans, let's say, really realize how lucky those of us who live in the United States of America, we really are. When you haven't experienced what democracy is not, then you don't know what you have. For example, what would happen to you if you simply expressed that you didn't like this government, that you didn't like the president, were not in agreement with his opinion, and that was that? Would you go to jail for that? In other countries, you do. In other countries, you don't have the ability to be yourself, to express, to have that freedom of expression that is so precious to everybody. I think that we should be doing everything we can to maintain that democracy and to give back, to make sure that we build this country, because this country is blessed. I remember when Castro took over the Batista government, it was December 31st, 1959, and the whole country was rejoicing because Castro had won and we were going to have freedom. And the next day, he went all through the country to the central road of the island, and people were just screaming his name. But it wasn't too long after that we realized, uh-oh, we made a mistake here, because he declared that he was communist and took over the country. Private property, the right to express yourself, the freedom of speech, even religion, everything changed. And from then on, it was communism. We never had a chance to vote or have a say. If you did have a say, it could cost you your life. Shortly after Castro took over, we realized we were in trouble. And it wasn't very long after that he took away our properties. My father's clinic was gone, the rental homes we had, no one had anything. Everything belonged to the government. So we decided to leave as a family. My father had brothers and sisters. He wanted everybody to come, but since no one would make up their mind, my dad said, okay, we're leaving as a nucleus, our family. But it was a little bit too late, because now he was a doctor, and most doctors had left. It was a brain drain. So it took 8 years for us to leave the country. And during those 8 years, we were treated as second-class citizens. Actually, if you are not in agreement with the Castro regime, you are called a gusano, a worm. And they came to our home after we asked for permission to leave and did a total inventory of everything that was in our home and said, now, the day that you get your permission, everything in this home needs to be in the same condition as today, because everything that you own now belongs to the government. Imagine, my mother had 2 little girls. We could break things. So we lived in fear for 8 years until the day that God blessed us with coming to this country. It was in 1973 when, for the first time in my life, I was able to vote in a country that allowed voting, because I am from Cuba, and in Cuba, communism does not allow you to vote. And if you do vote, is yes or yes for the communist regime. So when I was able to have a word to be able to actually vote for the party that we thought was the correct party, that was a great day. Every vote count. It is your right, it is your privilege, and it is something that we must exercise, because that one little vote could make the difference between what you really want for this country and what you don't.